bag, baby, never feeling stress. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carlos, really running the best. Car moving through these Ubers, I maneuver with the bag, baby, never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Ubers, I maneuver with the bag, baby, never feeling stressed.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Chicago Bears. With that, let's get out to venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Standing by with the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Before kickoff, Charles, quickly your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I could give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Kansas City's offense taking center stage, led by Patrick Mahomes. And while the season for Mahomes and company may have ended in a bit of disappointment, what a year it was. Led the NFL in touchdown passes, only the third ever to throw for 50, and he was second in passing yards, over 5,000 of those, Charles. It was a heck of a season.
It certainly was, and it didn't come out of nowhere because, remember, Kansas City moved up big in the draft to get him. I believe they moved from the low 20s up to number 10. So you knew the potential was there, and they were counting on it. But also remember, he sat most of his rookie year. Only had the one start in a throwaway game at the end of the season, sitting behind Alex Smith. So many say, hey, the importance of sitting that first year helped. Others will say, you should have started him his rookie year. Look at this guy. He's something else. But I know this. In backyard football, a lot of people are going to be throwing it with their opposite hand now, aren't they, to try and make a play?
And sidearm.
Sidearm, you know, whatever way to get the ball downfield. Patrick Mahomes brought us a whole lot of excitement and excellence.
And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guys. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. He's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
They go play action here on first down. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. An outstanding pickup there for the Chiefs. 51 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. From back at the 8 now after the false start. Another try at first and goal. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time. Second and goal. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd gone to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Mitchell Trubisky, he's ready to lead the Chicago Bears offense. And Trubisky took a step forward in his sophomore season in the NFL. Yes, it ended with a loss to Philly in the first round of the playoffs. But, you know, he did have some big games, notably that 6-touchdown game against the Bucs in Week 4.
They did finish with 24 touchdowns to 12 interceptions, so they'd like to cut down the interception number a little bit. You really want a 3-to-1 ratio to feel good about things. But I think they have to be proud of what he did in the playoff game. 303 yards and a touchdown, but hurt a groin earlier in the game. Cut down his ability to move around the pocket and run the football. He hung in there and made
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D. Ford in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now Trubisky. And he's going to go down again. Anthony Hitchens in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays.
Well, it's apparent that these guys are getting after it right from the opening kickoff. They roll right downfield and score on their first possession. And here on defense, back-to-back.
And he's taken down. Back in his own 7. Justin Houston in there again as this offensive line is in tatters. 3 sacks in 3 plays. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 38. For the Chiefs, Charles, looking back to last year in summation, 12-4. First time as the #1 seed in the AFC since the mid-90s, 1995. And, yeah, there was a lot of disappointment, understandably so, after that loss to New England. But it's like we were talking about with Patrick Mahomes, a lot to be proud of.
It certainly is. And just think about your chief weapons coming back. Saw what I did there, didn't you?
Yeah, chief weapons.
Thank you. Yeah. Tyreek Hill will be back. Travis Kelce will be back. Of course, Mahomes is the quarterback. The defense will need some work, though. They've got to get better against the run. Gave up way too many yards in that category. They've got to get back to their elite levels in takeaway numbers, something that's dropped off the last couple of seasons. But they started to make some corrections there. We'll be talking about Kansas City for years to come.
Yeah, that rush defense, 27th in the league, so certainly something to shore up before next season. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He is going to find Hill here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
On second down, Williams. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's a gain of 4, but they're still looking up here at a tough 3rd and 11.
Boy, CD Mack, just from day one, he's looked so good in a Bears uniform, literally and figuratively. And some Raiders fans watching this saying, I wish we had him on our team.
Yeah, just about every Raiders fan saying he looked a lot better in silver and black. Why don't we still have him? But in Chicago, immediately comfortable, fit right into their defensive scheme. They said, go get the passer, and that's exactly what he's done. Leonard Floyd, another first-round pick coming from the other side. He has really helped Chicago get off to a great start, and they love how he disrupts teams' offenses.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Here's Mahomes now on the option right. He can run for it, and he will. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Back to the air on second down. It's Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. Touchdown, Kansas City. Sammy Watkins from 13 yards out. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
And on this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs with different routes and be precise in your cuts.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. Butker now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Let's go. We're on the ball after this. Set up. 180.
This is Howard on second down. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback. And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 10-zip our score, and we're back to Soldier Field after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Trubisky will throw. And he hits the tight end. It's Deion Sims. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. That's going to be caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A very solid gain of 27. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, 20, and he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
It's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes our score 17-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Before this next drive gets going, we need to discuss the Hall of Fame inductees. There will be 8 in the 2019 class. We got Champ Bailey, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law. Who else am I forgetting in there?
Well, how about a big guy, a lineman, Kevin Mawai, who was absolutely terrific in his career. How about Ed Reed with the Baltimore Ravens and the great job he did in the secondary there. Pat Bowlen, Gil Brandt as contributors, the owner of the Broncos and the longtime scout with the Cowboys. And I love the senior committee bringing in Johnny Robinson, the safety with Kansas City.
Tony Gonzalez was a first ballot guy. And, of course, when I hear Ty Law's name, you think, wow, he started this great Patriots dynasty that we're still living in.
You're exactly right. And the Patriots, with all of their championships, probably underrepresented in the Hall of Fame.
And an alley to run. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar.
Circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. His throw caught at about the 5. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance class.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Chris Jones in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now it's Trubisky. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down. So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Here's Trubisky to throw. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. While we have a second here, let's peek back to the Super Bowl. The lowest scoring Super Bowl, Charles, in history, 13-3. And it took us 53 minutes to get our first touchdown of Super Bowl 53.
Can you believe they went into the half, 3-0 New England, Stephen Gostkowski with a field goal. Then they finally tie it up with Greg Zuerlein at the end of 3 quarters of the Rams knocking one through the post. The Patriots, the 3rd team to win the year after losing the Super Bowl, the first since the Dolphins in 1972.
And, of course, the big number now for New England, 6 titles, and they are tied with the Steelers for the most ever. Mahomes to throw on second down. On target over the middle to Hill. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Well, off topic, but we'd be remiss if we didn't point out what else was happening Super Bowl weekend. The Madden 19 Club Championship, 2nd major of the season, 2 more to follow. And our winner, Pavin, representing the Oakland Raiders. He took down the Vikings, and your favorite, Charles, IB Strafen. He had to reach for the ibuprofen after a 38-24 beatdown in the final.
Well, you know if he was representing the Oakland Raiders, the Vikings went down, and they went down hard. That's how the Raiders do it.
How about Pavin, though, wins $100,000 for his efforts, also won Super Bowl tickets for the next day, unselfishly gave them to his father and his brother.
How about that? That's pretty cool. Congratulations, Pavin. Way to go.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. On first down, Trubisky. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Chris Jones in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. On second down, here's Trubisky. And his throw here's incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And it's third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Set him back 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for third and long. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. As the drive, the Chiefs bring pressure, and they block it. It's picked up. Remember, the ball is live.
Well, if you were ever wondering, should I believe my special teams coach about, these plays are valuable? Think no more. Huge play, big block, and now they've set up their offense inside the 10-yard line. A chance to score.
Well, CD, the NFL held its awards show the night before the Super Bowl, and as you and I had speculated the last few weeks, Patrick Mahomes, MVP Offensive Player of the Year, and for the second straight season, how about Aaron Donald, Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, Donald was expected. We knew that was going to happen. Mahomes, we thought would happen. There was that school of thought that maybe Drew Brees might walk away with the MVP since he's never won one, but Mahomes a deserving winner. How about the Offensive Rookie of the Year? Saquon Barkley with the Giants. Many thought it might be Baker Mayfield with Cleveland.
Yeah, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Darius Leonard of the Colts, and the Colts Comeback Player of the Year, Andrew Luck, and very deservedly so.
I would say that for sure, and he beat out J.J. Watt, who also would have been a deserving winner. Coach of the Year I thought was a close vote, or probably should have been closer to me, because I thought Anthony Lynn from the Chargers deserves some respect. But Matt Nagy of the Bears, he ends up winning the award. They went 12-4 in his rookie season.
And then last one we need to mention, Chris Long of the Eagles, well-deserved Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year. Congrats to all.
Yeah, how about that? Donated his first 4 game checks to fund a literacy program that donated free books and mentoring services for families. And remember, last season, he donated every game check to causes that he felt strongly about.
Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
"15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this third quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 2nd and 10 now. It's Trubisky. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. Trubisky hitting Robinson for a big one, 49 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
Looking to throw again, Trubisky. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Mitchell Trubisky taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bears cut into that lead. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Parkey adds the extra point, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point kicker. Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him with contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
Over the middle, he's got Watkins. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The Chiefs on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Blue 45.
Working from the gun, Mahomes throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hill. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the chief linemen might have moved.
Offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Mahomes going to throw. And it's complete to Kelsey. They give him a gain of 38.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to...
Well, that was an intriguing call. You got a chip shot field goal. Tight game. Why not just take the 3?
I know that not all the old rules apply in today's NFL, and in fact, I'd love to have an analytics coach here with us right now to say why that was probably a good play. I don't know that even the analytics coach...
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And now here comes Kansas City. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think, At any moment, I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now it's Trubisky. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Chris Jones getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
That is caught inside the 5. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson from 19 yards away. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Yeah, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on. And remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
And of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
Yeah, my bad.
Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line.
Here we go. Green, 90. Green, 90.
They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And they'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Three-quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Again, it's Williams. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he's taken down inside the 30. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Ware takes the give from Mahomes. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Did you have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. On third down, here's Williams. He will push his way down to about the 14. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up fourth down. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And Butker able to put this one through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game, you really have no chance to win the football game.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Flush to his right. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Green 90. Green 90.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He's going to float this one deep right side. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. I mean, we could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
One of the selling points at the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets 1st downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those 1st downs, keep possession of the football. And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Chicago. Fielded at about the 28. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Bears take over. Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. Now carry number 20 of the game. Here's Williams. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. They run it again with Williams. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the kick by Butker is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Onto the field now come the Bears. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
And a nice gain at 21 yards. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Robinson. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain at 21 yards. He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them. Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Soldier Field.